Oftentimes you're the hero in video games, but not always. I'm Falcon, and today on gameranx, 20 games where you get to be a total jerk. Number 20 is Grand Theft Auto Vice City. So you don't just have the option of being a total jerk, you're Tommy Vercetti. You are a total jerk, period. Like if you buy the game, you've made the choice to be a total jerk in the game.
I think this could be the beginning of a beautiful business relationship. After all, you're a conniving, backstabbing two-bit thief, and I'm a convicted psychotic killer and drug dealer.
And having Ray Liotta do his voice, oh, it's so perfect.
Tommy, rip that guy a new asshole for me.
I'm gonna rip him too!
Every brutal moment, every unhinged moment. It's actually a little bit reductionist to call him just a jerk, but he definitely is a jerk. And Ray Liotta plays it so good. Number 19, Black and White, a game where you're asked to portray a god, and yes, you're supposed to convert all of the people in the game to believe in you, but I mean, if you really want to, you can be a jerk. Nobody said a god can't be a jerk. You can kill all your worshippers, you can make their lives harder, and you can do anything in between those two things. Or you can overpromise what kind of game you're making repeatedly, and deliver a product that's good, but maybe not exactly what you said it would be. Peter Molyneux. Number 18 is Payday II, which you basically are a jerk, period, in Payday II. Like the website you get contracts off of, crime.net, might as well be jerk.net. Also, do not go to jerk.net. I have a feeling it's not what we're talking about in this video. But you take contracts, you go steal things, take things, destroy things that perfectly honest people had to work for. Jerk. And again, this is one of those games where just by playing it, you're basically saying, I agree to be a jerk. The Jerk Simulator, 2013. Jerk Simulator 2013. Number 17 is Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. And I think it should be very obvious what kind of a jerk you are in Vampire the Masquerade. Going around being a vampire and stuff. Is there anybody who was like, yeah, that vampire, he was a good guy? You ever seen any vampire media like that? Like other than Blade? And you know what, I'm gonna say it, Blade was kind of a jerk. Wasn't exactly a people person. It was understandable, but still, no. You never find vampires that are good. They just kill innocent people and drink their blood. And don't you bring up Twilight like they're responsible vampires. Nobody's gonna be like, yeah, Twilight. Actually, that's a pretty good defense. Nope. You kill innocent people to drink their blood. You're a jerk. Number 16 is Stubbs the Zombie, where you get to play as a zombie. The object is to, you know, be a zombie. You eat brains, that's the point, that's the whole point of the game. You go around and you eat a bunch of brains. You're like, Brain City. And it's a pretty good game. It's from when they used to do a lot more experimental stuff in mainstream games, and it works. It's satisfying to kind of play the villain in that relationship. You never really get to. Player-controlled zombies are just not usually a thing, and, well, it really hasn't proven to be a thing since this game. Number 15 is Grand Theft Auto 5. Whereas in the previous game from the Grand Theft Auto series that I mentioned, you were a single jerk. In Grand Theft Auto 5, you are 3 jerks. You get to be different jerks for different reasons. You have one jerk who's just kind of really bad with his family and takes it out on other people in the outside world. You have one jerk who felt powerless and is being a jerk to seize power. And you have one jerk who's just an absolute brazen psychopath. Now, these 3 jerks are not the biggest jerks in the entire world. There's bigger jerks. You even encounter bigger jerks in the game. But you get to be jerks to those jerks. Especially one of them. One of them you're a real jerk towards. It's really just a jerk fest, Grand Theft Auto 5. That does not sound good. That's not what I meant. Number 14 is Mafia II, and it's been a while since I've played Mafia II. But I'll tell you this, if you like the jerkiness of Grand Theft Auto, but feel like it's just not quite Italian enough, you just don't hear enough of that, hey, go about it. No, I didn't say anything there. Those weren't words, except no. You're basically non-stop being a jerk in Mafia 2. You're organized crime. You're finding ways to extract money from people who oftentimes don't have money. And it's a nice bakery you got here. You gotta be ashamed of somebody where, you burn it down or something. I don't know, I'm not so good at the threats. Give me a cash or we'll burn the place down, alright? Okay. You get to do that, except for much more sure of yourself. Number 13 is Kane and Lynch Dead Men. Start off on death row. Not sure if you're gonna live. Get out. Get your paranoid schizophrenic partner in tow. You know, Kane and Lynch are they're bad people. They're irredeemable jerks. One of them is near incoherent and probably killed his wife. I'm not gonna say anything other than that. I don't know if you want to go play Kane and Lynch. I really don't know. Because as a bonus, the developers were kind of a jerk to the players of the game and didn't make that great of a game. So jerks all around. I don't know why I keep saying stuff like that. Number 12 is Knights of the Old Republic, in which you can become a Dark Lord of the Sith, and they are the absolute biggest jerks of the galaxy. They go around acting like they're so cool, yelling about unlimited power and stuff, but they're like, you know what I'm gonna do for this stuff? I'm gonna unbalance the Force, okay? So, dark side, totally unbalancing the Force. I don't care, the Force isn't my responsibility. I'm gonna use it for my own personal gain. Come on, bud. Can't you see that's being quite a jerk? Unlimited power! Number 11 is Mass Effect, in which you can basically be whatever you want to be, and that includes a jerk. In my opinion, the best times to be a jerk are the interrogations, because you can use words and stuff to say things and get other people to say things, but it's so much more fun to just be like, hey, I'm gonna hit you. And everyone kind of hates you a little bit after you do it, but it felt good. I mean, you can be a jerk in a lot of places, but that's my favorite place to do it. I can't even remember if there's really that many opportunities to interrogate anybody and be a jerk. There's that one time, though, that I just love it. Because the guy you hit is a jerk. You're still being a jerk, though. Number 10 is Prototype, where you are a mutated, superpowered psychopath who just destroys a lot of stuff. Now, we have to be very careful here because the story goes in a manner where Prototype 2's protagonist ends up doing a lot of the same things but isn't a jerk. It's like calling Robin Hood a jerk. Yeah, he does things that are technically illegal, but is this man a jerk? He's literally stealing from the rich to give to the poor. I mean, you're not doing that in Prototype 1 or 2, but in fact, in Prototype 1, you're kind of really just unleashing yourself on stuff, and the second one is kind of revenge, kind of stopping it from happening forever, or at least trying to. Number 9 is Infamous, in which you can be a hero, sure, or you can be infamous. That means you don't do things the nice way. You do it the hard way. Or maybe the easy way. I don't know. It kind of depends on what morality you are personally. Maybe you're an evil jerk. I don't know. But you can really jerk it up in Infamous. I gotta stop saying stuff like that. This is the last time, I promise. Anyway, if you are a jerk throughout the course of Infamous, if you basically use your powers in a jerky way, you can descend the city into chaos and get the quote-unquote bad ending. You as Cole end up thinking that you're the most powerful and strongest thing to ever have roamed the earth. And people who are full of themselves are jerks, okay? Number 8 is Postal, where you play a psychopath. I mean, you can play it as though you're not a psychopath. It's more difficult and frankly a little bit pointless too. This game basically is trying to nag you into being a horrific jerk who kills everyone. And then there's an apocalypse. Number 7 is The Darkness and The Darkness 2, in which you play a hitman who's possessed by an evil being. Now, you don't even have to have the evil being part there, and he's a hitman. That makes him a jerk. But then you bring in that evil being thing, and where you embrace it, and you're like, yeah, I'll take the special abilities in the dark. I don't care how tied to hell I end up. I don't care that this may end up in hell after a couple games. I don't care. None of that matters. I just want the ability to mess stuff up. Number 6 is Dungeon Keeper, in which you can be like, yeah, you know what? I don't want to be a nice dungeon keeper. I can keep a real mean dungeon if I really want. I will torture. That's what I like to do. I'm a jerk. I mean, again, a jerk can be somebody who just says mean things, but you can go much further in Dungeon Keeper. And let's be honest, pretty much all the games that we mention here. Number 5 is Fable, which you can play as a horrific evil monster if you really want to. You can have terrible glowing eyes and frankly look like a supervillain. All you have to start doing is abusing dogs and stuff, saying mean things. Take that, shopkeep, I don't like you. Yeah, I bought all these goofy clothes, and I even like them, but I don't care. You suck. I don't think you can say you suck to anybody, but I don't know, it's actually kind of goofier than that. Fable's goofy. Number 4 is Tyranny. Basically, in Tyranny, a god takes over the world, and you are supposed to figure out how to restore order. And let's just go ahead and say this, you can be a total jerk to everybody who survived the conquest. You don't have to handle factions of survivors like you're a nice person. There's no obligation to do that. The game's called Tyranny. Be tyrannical if you'd like. Number 3 is Saints Row 2, in which you're basically the bad guy. That's not to say in any Saints Row you're really the good guy, so to speak. You're kind of a jerk in every Saints Row, but you're explicitly kind of bad in this one. If you put all the Saints Row games next to each other and say, which one are you the biggest jerk in? It's Saints Row 2. Although the game was still funny, it wasn't basically a superhero game. Yeah, there's a reason they went to Agents of Mayhem instead of making another Saints Row. But this was back when it was more based in reality a little. I don't want to say a lot. But you're a gang member, and gang members aren't nice. Number 2 is Manhunt, a game in which you play as a total psychopath who is forced to participate in snuff films, quote unquote, for his freedom. So basically, be a huge jerk for a huge jerk so you can be free. Although it doesn't really pan out that way. It gets complicated, and you end up having to kind of not be a jerk at some points. But, I mean, it's really hard to say you play as a death row inmate who participates in snuff films and say you're not a jerk. And number 1 is Hatred. What can I say about Hatred? It's not a great game, but hey, you're a jerk in it. You're just a mass murderer. You hate the world, you hate all people, and you decide to genocide. That's it. That makes you a jerk. And a bonus game is Destroy All Humans, which is self-explanatory. You're an alien, you don't like the humans, you will destroy all the humans. It's a game where it's fun to be a jerk in, though, I'll say. That's a good one. What's your favorite game to be a jerk in? Leave us a comment. If you enjoyed this video, please click like. If you're not subscribed now, it'd be a great time to do so. We upload brand new videos every day of the week, and the best way to see them first is, of course, a subscription. As always, thank you very much for watching this video. I'm Falcon. You can follow me on Twitter at Falcon the Hero, and we'll see you next time right here on gameranx.